everybody. How's it going?
Say welcome to the Side Tell Us Children's Talk It Out TV show.
Yeah.
Today is June 23rd, 2020. We are broadcasting live from Atlanta, Georgia, from Status Network, the future of broadcasting. You can view Status Network Live TV on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, Roku, all of them live through Status Network, the future of broadcasting, but through Status Network. You can also download the app from Status Network, go to the Play Store, and then just look up Status Network. And then from Side Tell Us, you go to Instagram, Say Tell Us, Facebook, Say Tell Us, YouTube, Say Tell Us TV show. It's pronounced Psy, but it's the Psy. It's pronounced Psy, but it looks like Say Tell Us TV show. And today we're going to be talking about the importance of Juneteenth, racism, coronavirus, but primarily the importance of Juneteenth and why all Americans should honor Juneteenth. Today we have our three co-hosts, and we have them on here right now. And give us a moment, and we're going to zoom in so you can see their handsome young faces. Handsome young faces. And on the first one we have is Noah Killingbeck.
Yeah.
Let them know
Hi.
who you are.
Yeah, that's me. Hi.
And then we have Emmanuel Kilpatrick Jr. in the middle.
What's up?
And then we have my grandson, Cameron Maxwell.
That's me.
Okay, and you guys scoot up to your microphones because I want them to be sure to hear you.
Yeah.
And so again, today we're going to be talking about the importance of why Americans should honor Juneteenth and what Juneteenth actually means. But again, I want to remind you that we're always broadcasting every second and fourth Tuesday, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern from Atlanta, Georgia, Status Network on the Side Tell Us Children's Talk It Out TV show. And again, guys, is there anything you also want to start off with today? You want to say hi to anyone or let us know about your week? We can start with you, Noah.
I don't. A lot's been going on.
Such as, make sure you're up to that mic, honey, so they can hear you.
Juneteenth.
Okay, and what does Juneteenth mean to you?
I think, wasn't it the day slavery ended?
Yes, when all of the Americans, all of the slaves rather, were all made aware that actually they were no longer slaves, actually 2 years ago, prior to that. And that's why they celebrated on the 19th of June, because they were continually getting free labor from our ancestors and did let them know that they had already been freed from slavery. Okay.
My week been great. Juneteenth is like a 4th of July, but it's like a black 4th of July.
Okay. And what does that mean to you?
Juneteenth, it means that the slaves was free.
It means that the slaves were set free, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's so right. You are so right. And Cameron, tell me what you've been doing all week and what Juneteenth means to you.
For me, my week's been pretty good. Talk to my family a lot more. It's pretty fun. And to me, Juneteenth means when the slaves in Texas were announced free, they were free, but they didn't know. So now they're like, the slave owners are like, hey, you're free now. I hope you know that. And they're like, wait, we're free? Oh, bet. That's what's up. So let's go be free.
Right, exactly. Now, I want to hear you all's conversation because I'm going to step out a minute, let you all have the floor. But I want you all to continue the discussion. And I want you to be discussing really anything that you want. But as far as Juneteenth and slavery is concerned, how would you all feel today if we were slaves? How would you handle that?
It's not much different because we're not allowed to do that much stuff without being judged.
Yeah, that's true.
Very good point.
But I know I'll be doing the races.
Continue that conversation. Go, keep going.
I would leave. I'd be gone. I don't know what slave they talking about.
Right, just get out. Protest if you can.
I would run away.
What slave they talking about? Not me.
If I was a slave, I would run away.
This,
Shoot.
I'm out of here, boy. I'm out of here.
Hey, you know what I'm doing? Going to that kitchen.
Yes, sir. Cook some food.
I'm get on one of them. I'm get one of them things. The ones hitting them with the back.
Just hit him right in the back of the head.
Man,
I'm gone, boy.
take one of them guns. Shoot, take me a whip and see how they like it.
You getting a whooping today.
Yes, sir.
I mean, it's gonna be reversed. But not a lot of people know that white people were slaves too, or
Yeah.
Caucasians. They were like, I think they call them like serfs.
Yeah.
they
I
Servants.
saw in this one video
Servants.
that
But
they
they
were,
didn't get beat though.
I saw in this one video that they were slaves,
of
but they
them
don't.
did.
But
Yeah.
they don't talk
Well,
about it
genius.
anymore because it's embarrassing.
That's tough.
I really heard that on a video once. I was like, what? No way.
They don't talk about how white Caucasians were slaves.
Yeah.
They don't talk about it because
It's
they want to put black people down.
Because they want them to believe that white is the superior race.
But at the end of the day, we're equal,
They're all equal.
and we got the same rights. Haha.
Yep, same rights. Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah, I got it. Yep.
But everybody know that black people are definitely great.
Yep, amazing.
definitely great?
Black people.
Our culture.
We can do a lot of things.
And people don't talk about how Caucasians were also slaves. They don't talk about how Caucasians were slaves too.
Really?
Yeah, Caucasians. They're called serfs though. They're called yeah. They were slaves, but they don't like to bring it up because their reputation is more important than black people's.
Apparently.
Apparently, yeah. Apparently.
Like, oh hey, just saying.
They also
Yeah.
they also sometimes try to steal our culture.
Yep, still in the culture.
Still the
I was gonna say
culture.
culture.
But yeah, Juneteenth is very important for us African Americans.
It really is. It's like the celebration of when we were free, but we didn't know. Like we finally knew that we were free, so we can do what we want.
Yeah, it's basically one of the official days.
And then also, are we truly free? Are we treated equally? Is everyone
No,
able to do everything?
No.
Is anyone being judged?
Yeah,
people
yeah.
people being
Judged every day.
judged.
Every
Okay.
single
Every
day.
day.
24/7.
Yeah, we get racially profiled, and slurs are people say slurs about us, but we just let it go because at the end of the day, if we come back with something, it's a problem.
It is.
Every day or every week, a black person gets shot.
For
Tell me
real.
about some type of racism you guys have dealt with,
Oh,
or
dealt with this.
unfairness, or
I dealt with this,
inequality.
I dealt with this one teacher. I think it was in 4th grade. He was he was white, and the class was like full of black, like 4/5 of the class was black people, and like 1/5 was white people. And he would treat the black people like crap, and like treat the white people like they were gods or something. Like oh, y'all didn't do the homework? Oh, it's all right. Oh, y'all got a 60 on the test? It's all right. Get a free 100. And the black people were like, oh, you got like a 80? I'll take a couple points off because you weren't listening earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, one time a white person called me the N-word.
Oh yeah,
really?
I know how that
would
feel. Yeah, I know how that feel.
Elaborate on that. Tell us how they called you the N-word,
How
and
you
then
feel.
Noah, you tell me how you understand how that made you feel, so you can
My,
relate to
my
that.
fr- me and my friend, we was using this app, and then it was like this white kid. Then he just said it as ease. And
He
then
said what?
He said it with the ease.
He said it with
Like
ease.
it was nothing.
Right,
Yeah.
like it was nothing. He's like, so what?
Like he's used to it.
Right.
And then my friend got mad. Then he wanted to punch him.
No, it makes sense. That's disrespectful.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Cameron.
Wow.
It really is.
Well, at this time, I would like to show a video clip of why Americans should honor Juneteenth. It's a few minutes long, so I'd like for us to take a look at this to see why Americans should honor Juneteenth. And do you like the pictures that we put up there, you and Noah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like yours, Junior? Emmanuel
Yeah.
Junior? You, Cameron, you like yours?
Yeah.
Those need an update.
Okay, so we're going to
Yeah.
begin this video.
Juneteenth is a deeply emotional moment for enslaved people because for decades, for centuries, enslaved people prayed for, hoped for, fought for in the form of slave rebellions, running away, bought their freedom when they could. And if you read slave narratives, if you listen to spirituals from the era of slavery, you know that enslaved people longed for freedom. This was something that had been hoped for, but many believe may never come.
Well, the master promised to give me $40 a month in bed. Well, lots of the boys say they ain't want it. They rather go free, you know.
Being able to go wherever they wanted, being able to wonder about. For enslaved people, it was an expression of their freedom.
Well, Matt Porter was the one that long Miss Porter, one of our white folks' neighbors. He come along, we all sitting on the fence, and the colored children come along and asked her did she want to go with him. And she said yes, she mounted one of them horses. She went on with them. I never did see her and hear tell of her no more.
When I think about Juneteenth, I think about it in the context of Emancipation Day celebrations that began January 1, 1863. They took on a whole new meaning when slavery was formally abolished after 1865. You would have had African American veterans who fought in the Civil War be prominent in these celebrations, dressed in their military garb, speeches from enslaved people, the most prominent Black politicians singing of hymns, spirituals, discussions of registering to vote. Enslaved people celebrating in public their newfound freedom was an act of resistance. Because we have to remember, slavery came to an end after a 4 years bloody Civil War. Still the bloodiest conflict in American history. Many people in the South and in the nation who did not want to see slavery abolished fought tooth and nail to block the 13th Amendment. The abolition of slavery created a huge humanitarian crisis in the South. Suddenly 4 million people have very little means to take care of themselves, to support themselves, and do so in a really hostile environment. So the military was necessary to make sure that enslaved people got the food, the medicine, the shelter that they needed in order to survive. They're also there to protect, to the extent that that was possible, freed people from violence, from recriminations, from slaveholders, from Confederates who still hadn't given up the fight.
And I remember when the Yankees stopped here, and the Yankees stopped right on the corner of Square, and they prosecuting people, you know. We go to the ground team, and they take them hanging over the slum. That's the punishment they got. Next time you see, they come a whole troop of Yankees, all riding horses, big guns hanging on them. And I said, Mama, where are they going? They're all going home now.
When the last federal troops leave the South, it's a signal to Southerners. The federal government wasn't going to put its might into ensuring the civil rights of Black people would be observed. You have 20, 30 years later, Black people being lynched in public, and their isn't a federal anti-lynching law to protect them. In most communities in America, there's a history of lynching and racial violence. And very few communities have marked that, commemorated that. Every decade since the end of slavery, Black people have been more educated, accrued more wealth, more status in American society. Every decade since 1865. But there's been one constant, and that constant is the presence of random racist violence. And to subdue a Black man who was not resisting, who could not resist. Even though slavery came to an end in 1865, the desire to master and dominate Black bodies did not. And we have never dealt with that. These are the kind of stark realities that are highlighted during Juneteenth. If Black people's lives can be expunged through racist violence and no one is held accountable, how free are we?
Great. So that was a very informative video. And you see how it said more Blacks are enslaved in our prisons today than they were actually in prison. So that is not a coincidence. That is not happenstance. That is very, very intentional. So as young Black men, I want you to hold yourselves cautiously accountable, to be very careful on where you, as you grow up in life, understand that unfortunately the color of your skin and your Black beautiful features are very intimidating to others who don't look like you. So I want you guys to be very careful and aware that when you, as you grow up in society, unfortunately, just by being yourself and being positive and being productive and being prosperous and doing the right thing, that in itself is intimidating. So be very careful and cautious and realize that some people are going to try and tear you down. Majority of them are not going to be of our same culture and race. Majority of them are going to be white supremacists, people who are racist, people who are on the down low in the KKK and things like that, you know, the Ku Klux Klan, where they purposely try to go out and hurt and kill Blacks and even hang them today. Every so often throughout the year, you'll see an article on the news, in the newspaper, about a Black person that is being hung. So tell me, what did you guys think about that video? And how so are we still oppressed through our prison systems? How, you know, are we being negatively impacted as a society by locking up our Black men, taking away our brothers and our uncles and our fathers and our grandfathers? How is that impacting us today, guys?
Well, I think that video was very important to us African Americans, and I saw some very interesting things in there, as in the Emmett Till death, where I believe it was like 3 white guys who put him in a boat blade, and they tore off most of his body and skin, and they went to court for it, but they never got, like, they got away with it. Yeah, they got away with it.
They did that because Emmett Tillman tried to holler at one of the dude's girlfriends.
Holler.
They were trying to holler at him, trying to talk, trying to communicate.
Yeah.
Yep, pretty much.
Okay. Cameron, what's your input on that?
It was very detailed. One thing that caught my mind. What was it? When they had the guns pointing at the Black people, that said, "I am a man," and then one white man that said, that didn't have any picture on him saying, "I'm a man," but he was just white and didn't have a gun pointed at him. I think that was really important, because how they just notice, like, white people as like the superior race, like they don't, like, they're just better than us, and I'm not saying they are, but I'm not saying they aren't either. We're both equal.
I was going to say, is any culture better than the other?
No, they're all equal.
And white
Exactly.
white wasn't a race during the first years on Earth.
Say that again, honey.
White wasn't a race during the first years of Earth.
But when Earth fully initially existed.
Yes.
Now we have some audience members that are posing questions. Now, did you all celebrate Juneteenth before this year, 2020, or was this your first time celebrating Juneteenth?
First time celebrating it.
Okay, and that's from
Juneteenth is like getting its recognition
Just now.
for what it is.
'Cause
right.
of all the stuff that's going on now.
Okay, now, do you think the school system need to add Juneteenth into its
Yes.
curriculum?
Yes.
Were you all even taught about anything in slavery as you all, because you guys would
Yeah.
be in the 7th and 8th grade next year?
Yes.
I'm in high school.
I'm going to the.
Oh, okay. What grade you gonna be in, Noah? Sit up, honey. Sit up. Sit up. Sit up. Sit up. Sit up. What grade are you gonna be in? Scoot your chair up. What grade you gonna be in?
Ninth.
You gonna be in the 9th? Speak up. And what grade you gonna be in, junior?
I'm gonna be in the 7th.
Okay, and Cameron, so we have, and I know you'll be in the 8th. So we have a 7th, 8th, and 9th grader. So from the time that you all have been educated from kindergarten up until now, have they tried to educate you all, giving you guys information on Juneteenth or slavery or anything like that in
They
the
told
school
us
system?
Slavery, yes.
Okay.
But not
Slavery.
Juneteenth.
They don't mention Juneteenth.
Not ever.
And if there's Black History Month, you already know they gonna get some mixed people.
They gonna do like the same people like Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks.
Muhammad Ali, but sometimes they do. Like the more
Sometimes
you progress, they do more.
Sometimes they add new people.
Sometimes what, honey?
Sometimes they add new people.
Okay, okay.
Because Caucasians really don't know the Black history. They'll learn about it, but they don't. It's not as detailed as it is for us as it is for them. So them learning about it, it's just Martin Luther King, yeah, he stood up for us.
Right, right.
But for us, he made Black people who we are today.
It's like a
Rosa
superhero.
Parks stood up on that bus and went to jail. So that's important to us, but to
Right.
them it's just they did something.
It
Yeah.
means nothing.
Yeah.
And what were we going to say? Because we have Emmanuel Sr. here in the studio as well, Emmanuel Jr.'s father.
Hey guys, I just want to ask y'all, what do y'all feel?
Call us. What we gotta do?
What do y'all feel, guys? That
Push
black
the button.
Put 'em on
that
hold.
black
And just
people
say, hold
want.
on.
Hang on a second. We're talking. Hang on just a little second.
Hang on.
Just a little bit. Oh, welcome to the Side Tellers TV show.
Welcome to the Side Tell Us Children's Talk It Out TV show. And hold on a moment for us because we have one of the parents in the studio as well, Emmanuel Kilpatrick Sr., posing a question. But thank you so much for calling, caller. One moment, please. What were you saying, Emmanuel Sr.?
Guys, I just want to ask y'all, what do y'all feel as our race, as black people, what do y'all feel that the most important at this particular time? If y'all could get anything, what would be something that that y'all feel that black people or people of color would like to see implemented right in this particular time?
Equality.
Equality. Okay. What about you, JR?
Black people, they want to be treated as same or similar to white people.
Okay. So they want to be treated as a man. They want to be
Yes.
treated as a human being.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about you, Cameron?
Acknowledgement for the power that we have, for the potential that we have, for the things that we can do to better this future, the things that we have done to better
Yeah.
this future.
I'm with that because sports wouldn't even be sports
Right.
without African Americans.
Exactly.
We did a
And
lot
that's
of
just the
things.
truth.
A
We
very
did a
good
lot
point.
of the things to shape American history today.
Yes.
I think the only real white-based sport there is hockey.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes.
do
And
wanna
even
say-
we put in.
I do want to say something to you guys. Now, I just don't want you. I want you guys, when y'all grow up, I want y'all guys to be fearless young men. Like, I want y'all to be, go out there into the world and, do whatever your dreams or hopes, whatever you want to be. But don't let fear take over you, okay? And also, there are, we also got to know that we do have allies as white people.
Yes,
all white
not
people
all are bad.
Definitely.
are bad. So let's keep that in mind. That
Exactly.
All of them aren't the same.
Exactly. Just like all of us aren't the team, they can't categorize. Let's acknowledge this caller, see if they're still there.
Hello?
Are you
Yes,
still here?
hello.
Yeah.
Okay. Please state your name. Ask them to state their name and see what they're calling from.
Please state your name and what city you're calling from.
Hi, this is Cece calling from Bronx, New York.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hi, Cece, one of our faithful callers. Always tell her thank you for calling.
Hey,
Thanks for
CC.
calling.
Yes,
Yeah, hey.
Thank you, thank you. So, I don't know if someone already asked this question or if you answered it, but I think one of the young men mentioned that, what they're being taught in school as far as Black history, and, they always talk about Martin Luther King and Muhammad Ali and like Malcolm X.
Yes,
and,
sir.
I think those are people that are kind of safe because, and they're also well known, have been well known for quite some time. But I'm wondering if they ever spoke to you about other influential Black men and women in history. Then, if not, have you all taken upon yourselves, or have your parents talked to you about, or provided you with books to read more about, Marcus Garvey and things like that?
Yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like school-wise, they teach you about the basics. They
Yeah.
teach you about well-known people. They don't teach you about
The
people
people-
that aren't, let's say, that don't go out there and stand in front of 100,000 people.
Right.
Or the ones that's not on the front line.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because people are doing
during
things.
This time, since you all are definitely witnessing, history right now, have you all talked about, or with your parents or with your friends, wanting to learn more about your culture, Black history, wanting to read upon more, and and start going to the library if it's open, or buying books from Amazon? Have you all, has this made you all or motivated you all to learn more about Black history?
Yeah, because the Black history is really interesting, and there's more that we need to know about in order to be successful Black people.
Exactly.
I feel that African Americans know more about themselves and their ancestors and all that than Caucasians do, because they feel like, oh, we went to school and we learned about Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks, so we know Black history. No, you do not know Black history. You do not know the full story of where we
Exactly.
originated,
Yeah.
how we got to where we are, and why we're doing what we're doing and protesting.
Yeah.
Right. I just have another question. I don't know if some of you all have friends of different ethnic or racial backgrounds. Have you all, first, have you felt comfortable talking about what's going on today? And have you all, had to, educate your friend? I think Junior mentioned that he had a friend, or there was a Caucasian guy that called him the N-word, and your friend got upset. So have you all encountered the situation where you have to educate your white counterparts, or do you not have white friends, or what is that
Yes.
dynamic like?
I got all types of friends, all different races.
Excellent.
And
Now-
have they mentioned anything about what's going on, or maybe because they are children and still kind of removed a little bit from what's going on because they aren't Black?
I haven't really talked to them as much since quarantine.
Okay.
I feel that yes. Sometimes I educate my Caucasian friends, but sometimes it's just certain things you cannot say to them because it's just certain things that that cross that line that meet.
Right.
Yeah, that cross that line to where Blacks and Caucasians. It's just certain things you cannot say.
Right.
That's
that makes
true.
sense.
That's true.
I
Now,
definitely think.
go
I'm
ahead,
sorry, go
Cece.
ahead.
No, go ahead, Cece.
No, I definitely think, as I come from a background or a place where, you want your children to remain as innocent for as long as they can, because once you go out into the real world, then you're in the real world. But unfortunately, given the times, it's always been the times, racial inequality and things like that, it's going to put you all in situations to where hopefully you will be better able to encounter racism, as you, as Sai mentioned, as you all, become older in age and your bodies begin to change. You're no longer little boys. You'll become men. And, it's really going to prepare you, unfortunately, for what society will, have
Right.
ready for you when you become men. So definitely, listen to your parents. You want to make sure you follow certain rules, even when you're playing outside. I remember talking to my nephew and informing him that a child, unfortunately, was killed by the police because he had a toy gun, and
Oh, yeah.
it's kind of, you would hate to
So
talk to your
sad.
children about that at such a young age, whether it's 5, 8, 12, 13, 14, but this is the time that we're living in. So I would definitely encourage you all to continue to read more about your history, because if you don't know where you come from, you don't know where you're going. So I definitely encourage you all to do that. And thank you so much for being open, and thank you for the parents for
Yes.
allowing you all to be open and talk about a subject such as
Amen.
this. Again, you all are children, but we're living in a time where, children are kind of forced to grow up sooner than later. So I just want to thank you all for that.
Hey, Cece, this is Emmanuel, father. I am homeschooling my son, and one of the things that I have done, and you kind of touched on that. Since I'm homeschooling him, I think that a lot of other parents should do as well, is teach their kids about their inheritance and about African American, and learn more as well, because that's something that I've done with JR, trying to establish him to know more about what the school is teaching him, because a lot of the information that's out there is not in the books. So I think the books, to just my opinion, from a parent perspective, I think the books should be reformed as well, because a lot of the information is just focused on just slavery and just the key factors of the people that was of the movement. I think that they should bring out more names, people that was on the sidelines or on the back end that put in work, because I love Martin Luther King, I love Malcolm X, but
he wasn't the only one.
it was a lot of people that was behind him, that put a lot of work in, that don't get the credit. So I think that the school books should kind of reform their books, especially towards African American, because I feel like it's kind of hard for them to teach black kids about their history when they're not getting the proper history of it. So that's just my feed. But I just want to thank you, because you hit a great topic about what we should do as parents, teach our kids about black history and black being black. So I just want to thank you for that.
Yes, thank you so much. Now, also, Crystal out of Ohio has posed another question. She said, in regards to learning about Juneteenth, is it empowering? How does it make you feel as a young black man? So is Juneteenth empowering to you? Does that make you have a positive outlook regarding it? But let's acknowledge this caller first.
Welcome to the Side Tell Us Children Talk It Out TV show. Please state what city and state where you're calling from.
Cincinnati, Ohio. My
Nice to have
name
you on the
is
call.
Savannah.
Hello, Susanna. Nice to have you on the call.
Savannah, tell her thank you so
Savannah.
much for calling.
Thanks so much for calling.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I've called in before. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, and I'm an educator and also a mom. And I heard that you all did mention Tamir Rice, because that was in my state of Ohio, where the young man was playing out in the park with a toy gun, and he was gunned down, unfortunately. So we definitely want to make sure that we keep his memory alive.
Yes.
And so my question is to the panel. I do see that we have 3 males there, and I know that we're in the era right now where we're promoting, because I have 2 daughters and I have a son. And we are in the era where we're promoting, I don't know if you hear, like Black Girl Magic, Black Girl this and all that. And I like the fact to see the young men there, because my youngest child is a boy.
Yes.
And being in the education system, I sometimes see the difference that is made with black children when it comes to girls and when it comes to boys. So I just want to encourage you all, and I want to ask a question.
Yes.
What are you all doing individually to start a move? I know you're on the show, and that's great, but have you all started thinking about what impact that you can make? Because I think a lot of times people assume that you're too young to do things, and I just want to let you know that you can start at any age. So have any of you all ever started doing things as volunteering or just educating someone, mentoring someone that may be in the first or second grade? Have you all thought about doing something like that? If not, what are your thoughts on that? Just thinking like maybe younger, because sometimes people think they're too old, they're too young, and you're not old enough. But what are your thoughts on that? What kind of impact are you ready to make?
I've seen a lot of younger people make impacts on Black history and police brutality. Well, they spoke on it and they changed it for a little bit, but it didn't change that much. And to answer your question, yes, I have thought about like how to change the Black society, how to change the whole entire society from treating Blacks differently. And a lot of the time, I'm just thinking like, man, a lot of the time, kids' voices are underheard, unacknowledged, and now when they're speaking about certain topics, it's acknowledged. So a topic like this, a child saying that, it would really bring attention to a lot of other people.
Okay.
Yeah, I second that. I feel that younger people should try and strive to do something with the community, being that they're younger and they have a better opportunity than older people would, because they're the next generation. So as soon as the old people get older, you're next in line to do something. So why not do it while you're young and start?
Exactly. And what do you say about that, Emmanuel Jr.?
I think the younger people should make a change. I hear some older people, they say the younger people are not doing anything. But I feel like some young people are doing things
that they don't know about.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, but what can you do now to help eliminate or help change the pattern of inequality and racism at your young, tender ages? What can you do now, do you think, to help change that, to stop this oppression of racism, inequality, and injustice towards Blacks today? What can you do today
even just
from
like
your age group? What can you do?
Even just like posting on social media and doing that for a long enough amount of time, get a certain amount of followers. Let's say you get a certain amount of followers where someone huge follows you, like Dwayne Johnson.
Posting
on
social media what?
About how Black Lives Matter, about how...
Or you can go out protesting at a safe distance and record yourself protesting with others and promote yourself out there as Emmanuel did.
And if someone big enough sees that, then they might post it on their page, and since they have a large amount of followers than you, they acknowledge a lot more people. So therefore, you made a difference in society, impacting a lot of things.
And what were you saying, Noah?
But I was saying that you can protest at a safe distance and record yourself protesting with others and build yourself up as Emmanuel did. Right. Or he got so far that he got a news reporter to.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So
tell us about that. So he got a news reporter to do what? He did what? I mean, what happened? Give us the who, what, where, when, and how. Give me all of it.
Well, it was actually a magazine. And the lady just hit my dad up one day, and lady just hit my dad up one day, and and then called him, and then my dad told me the next day, then he was like, yo, you gonna be on the news, he was like, yo, you gonna be on a magazine.
Okay, but where were you? What were you doing? I need you to tell me, what were you doing?
I was in the house playing.
Okay, no. The point is, why would they want you to even be on a magazine? I mean, because like I'm in the house and I'm doing nothing, but no one's contacting me about a magazine. So why do they want you to be on a magazine, honey?
Because they saw my potential.
In what way, though? That's what I'm asking.
A leader way.
Oh.
A Black reader.
Okay, so they saw your page or something? Or Okay, so they came across your page and they saw how positively impacting it could be, and then they wanted to interview you for the magazine? Is that what you're saying? They wanted to interview you for the magazine?
Yes.
Oh, okay, just by looking at your media page?
Yes.
Oh, excellent. Okay. And Cameron, I want you to get ready for that email so we can show these pictures on here in a moment. So you need to pull up that email. What were you going to say, Noah? Go ahead.
I second that CC girl. She said as you get older, that as you get older, you can do different things. But she forgot to mention the teenage phase as where where you learn more about Black Lives Matter. It's in that teenage phase where it's more defined, where you really understand it more than you would as a child.
Exactly. Well, it's okay to have that interaction of a conversation with a caller and say, hey, you forgot to. So, have that dialogue going back and forth, and forth. Okay, great.
I actually had another question.
Okay, go ahead.
So this is Savannah again. So I actually have 2 daughters. I actually have one of my daughters here right now. Be patient with her. She's a little shy, but she wanted to make a comment. Tell me your name and how old you are.
I'm Gabrielle, and I'm 8 years old.
Hi, Gabrielle.
Nice
What's
to
your
meet
question,
you.
honey?
Yeah.
I was gonna say I think there should be more Black people on Disney Channel.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
One
agree.
Black princess.
I agree. Very good analyzation. Very
Disney
good
Channel, like,
noticing.
Disney Channel's like so
Yes.
popular.
Yes.
And there's
And,
only
like-
one black princess, and that's Princess Tiana. They got
Princess
Hawaiians,
and the Frog.
Exactly.
Chinese. They only
Wait,
got
what about
one black.
one?
Exactly.
What about
She's
Princess
Hawaiian.
At this time, I want us to show Cameron what's on this email that you had gotten information on. What is it about?
Oh, it's about
Get up to the microphone so we can hear.
It's about Black children who got shot by police officers and who were innocent.
Okay, innocent what? I mean, because all children
They
are
weren't
innocent.
doing anything wrong. They did nothing wrong.
Were they innocent bystanders? Is that
Yeah,
what you're saying?
innocent.
Read
Well,
the email
one of them-
literally, honey. What is it saying?
Yeah, one of them.
Come on, we have 5 minutes left. Read the email so we
All
can
right.
play. And again, we want to pay homage to these children that were shot. But read that email literally, and
All
what
right.
is it saying?
Shout out to all these people. Nicholas Hayward.
Get up to the microphone.
Nicholas Hayward was shot and killed by a police officer while playing cops and robbers with his friends in Gowanus. His last words were, "We are playing." Tamir Rice was shot and killed by a police officer in a Cleveland park. The cop fired less than 2 seconds after arriving on the scene. Tyree King was shot multiple times and killed by a police officer when they believed he matched the description for a robber in the neighborhood. He was 5 feet tall and weighed less than 100 pounds. The robber being investigated had stolen $10. Ayanna Stanley Jones was shot and killed by a police officer while investigating a local shooting. They bust into her home without warning and fired within seconds. She was sleeping, and she was 7 years old. And the whole thing was getting filmed for a true crime TV show. Trayvon Martin was shot and killed by a neighborhood watch volunteer while walking home. The shooter claimed to act in self-defense. Martin was holding a bag of Skittles and Arizona iced tea. Cameron Tillman was shot and killed by a police officer while hanging out with his friends in an abandoned house with the owner's consent. He was alive for at least 45 minutes. The officers showed no medical assistance. Jordan Edwards was shot and killed by a police officer in the passenger seat of a car while leaving a party. The car was driving away from the cops, and the officer fired inside the car under the grounds that the car had backed up towards him in an aggressive manner. Kiwane Carrington was shot and killed by a police officer outside a house in broad daylight while the cop was investigating a suspected break-in. Carrington was known to the house's owner and welcomed there. Laquan McDonald was shot and killed by a police officer while under investigation for slashing a squad car's tires. He was shot 16 times and walking away from the officer. Deontay Farrell was shot and killed by a police officer while walking in the park. The officer claimed Farrell had a toy gun, while witnesses claimed he was holding a bag of chips. All children unarmed. That's it. Those are all. That's the list of Black children who were all unarmed and did nothing wrong. Thank you for watching the Side Tellers TV show.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you reading those names of those children who were killed innocently, as they were all innocent bystanders. Gentlemen, I want you guys to be careful. Those could be your pictures up there. And that's why I say be very, very careful in what you say and what you do, and be your brother's keeper, okay? Be there to help each other and to support each other. and to look after each other, because we are all that we have of each other. But let me see this right here right quick before we go. So again, we're going to continue having the side Tell Us Children's Talk About TV show every second and fourth Tuesday, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern. You always want to call 470-251-4343 for Noah Killingbeck, Emmanuel Kilpatrick Jr., and then Cameron Maxwell for the, again, side Tell Us Children Talk About TV show. And we dance it out from the song of I'll Be Good to You, because on the side Tell Us TV show, we're going to be good to you. So thank you for watching. Tune in on the fourth Tuesday, which will be coming up. So thank you guys for tuning in. Love you. Atlanta Status Network, the future of broadcasting.